Yeah, so Monkeyboy's YouTube channel is the best YouTube channel. Stands independently, intersubjectively, and I'm very much speaking from the heart here when I say that.
Monkeyboy's YouTube channel is stance independently and intersubjectively the best YouTube channel. Subscribe. I'm talking from the heart.
Yeah, so I was listening to the combo, and it was a good combo. I liked it. A lot of facts, a lot of logic, and it's nice when you're proving like the natural world. But you have to talk about more. You have to talk about. I do believe it's real, and there's a lot of supernatural, miraculous things we see in our everyday world. We got rainbow, we got intelligent design, we got the fine tuning. Like I
don't believe in any of that.
Well, I understand.
I think there are rainbows, but
yeah, we'll get into it. But the thing is,
miraculous doesn't mean supernatural.
No,
it doesn't follow something's miraculous.
No, I get it.
Rainbows are supernatural.
But math is the thing.
They're not even miraculous either.
Yeah, but math kind of ties in with it all because we're still today figuring out math equations that we observe in the world, and there's constants and laws that we observe. It was already there, it was already put in place. So to say that it just came
What was put in place? I wasn't listening.
Huh?
You said what was put in place?
Like everything you're observing with math and science, that's all was put in place. You're just observing it.
Why would I think any of that was put in place?
Because it's there and sustaining life.
That doesn't follow. I understand putting.
Wait, hold on. Tell me how life is not a miracle.
Wait, no one's. No one. Whoa, wait. But what he said was being put in place. I understand the action of putting something into place.
What's already there. That's the logic.
Wait, you're not appreciating what I'm saying. I'm saying the language of put into place is one that should be, or is commonly interpreted as the act of putting in place, that being one that's deliberative, where I deliberate on performing the act of putting something somewhere, right? We wouldn't say rocks colliding are putting smaller comets into orbit, right? It's not putting it there, given there's no intentional property. So when you talk about the action of putting, that's one that requires a deliberator, an agent, right? And I don't have any reason to think any of the things I'm observing were things that were put there.
But we can still observe intelligent design, can't you not? Or how do you explain science, physics, and math? How do you explain what we study? Is that just random chance, or is that something created? What's your take?
I have no clue what you're asking me.
The question is, through math and science and the observation of the natural world, do you think that was just put there by chance, or was there a reason for it all?
Wait, what was put there?
The world, the natural world.
I don't think the planets were put here.
But you can observe them.
Yeah, I can observe them.
Okay. But
if I find a rock on the floor in a specific location, it doesn't follow because the rock's there, it was put there. Right? It doesn't follow anyone put it.
I get it. But the mathematical probability of it just coming to chance is way more than just God creating it, because there's fine tuning in our world.
The probability of what is
the probability of your theory is way more astronomical than the probability of God, because what we see is fine tuning and
is astronomically lower.
Of course.
Wait, what is my theory?
That it just came about, and we're just here living it. It's just a result of our
what
mind.
Fact came about? Wait, what? Whoa, let's calm down. What fact came about?
How you're living here just by chance, just by we evolved. That's your theory, right?
I don't know what. Okay, let's try and calm down. I'm not under. What is? Let's go step by step. What are the string of things that make up the theory? So what I want is individual propositions that make up the theory.
Okay. Do you not believe in evolution?
What is? Well, by evolution, you mean the mutation of frequencies and allele frequencies?
A monkey to us. Do you believe that? Yes or no?
No, that's not evolution.
Okay. How did we get on Earth? Can I just ask you, because I think you have some far outreach theory here, but I want to hear it.
Out far reach theory about what?
You're far fetched. I meant to say, but what's your theory of how we got?
Far fetched theory about what?
Yeah. What's your best?
I don't have a theory about that.
Then what are you here arguing?
So can I ask?
I'm here arguing against arguments concerning the existence of God. Are you okay?
You have nothing to believe in understand. Like
it doesn't follow. This is actually an informal fallacy in philosophy of science called last man standing fallacy. It doesn't follow if there's only one explanation to accommodate a fact that explanation is true. That's just fallacious. So first, it doesn't follow if I have no explanation and you offer an explanation that it's good. Imagine a scenario where there's a grilled cheese on the floor and my friend asks me, "What do you think did it?" And I say, "I don't know." And he says, "I think it was grilled cheese fairies." That being the only explanation first doesn't follow it's a good explanation. Obviously, grilled cheese fairies is not a good explanation, and it doesn't follow it being the only hypothesis in the sample space of competing hypotheses that it's true. Obviously, it doesn't follow because that's the only explanation.
Logically, I understand
that's the true explanation. Okay. But let's not do this error again. Talking about, well, why are you arguing with me if you don't have an explanation? That's just a foolish thing to question, because nothing about me producing a competing hypothesis has any interest concerning whether or not the explanation you're offering is true or good, right? So I can dismantle your explanation and show how it's crummy, and it doesn't require me to.
We
give
haven't
you
got
an
to the good
alternative.
stuff yet. Hold on, we're not even halfway. Not even halfway.
No, but do you appreciate that fact? That it doesn't. There's no reason for me to offer an explanation. Because
Okay,
you said, why are
I
you
get it, I
arguing
get it,
if
I
you
get
don't
it,
have
I
an
get it.
explanation?
I got it.
Do we agree that was something errors to ask?
No, because you have to have a stance on something, or you're just neutral. And being
Wait,
neutral.
I can wait. I
need
can
to-
have a good reason. I can have good reason. I think my friend's explanation that it's grilled cheese varies is poor.
No, but you're talking
Still not have-
hypotheticals too much.
Not
Man. That's
have.
like half your explanations are hypotheticals. Let's get to reality. Let's
Wait,
talk about the history.
wait.
No,
Do
we're done with the
hypotheticals?
hypotheticals?
No, we're not going to spurg. Do we agree that by the same lights of the example I gave you, that it doesn't follow that whether or not I have my own explanation, that I can't in sincerity diffuse or give critiques of the grilled cheese theory explanation? Of course I can. I can have reasons to think that explanation is really poor, and I can myself have no explanation for why there's a grilled cheese there.
Okay, I got you. Okay, let's talk about facts then, because you love facts. I love facts. Let's go. So we're talking about the history of Israel here. What do you know about ancient history of the world?
Wow, that
I don't care. Just
Oh my god.
No,
Just give me reasons to think there's a God.
Whoa, hold on. I'm trying to show you.
Just give me
from
reasons to
scripture.
think there's a God.
Okay, can you just follow me for 1 second, or am I like is it too much?
I'm trying to follow the, but we have to go.
No, I asked
further.
one
We don't
question.
want
And you said
anything.
I don't care. Like, come on, be authentic.
Yeah.
bro.
I'm being authentic.
You say yes or no.
Jeez.
It's a question. I don't care is not an answer.
No.
Okay.
No, you're not understanding where we're at in the dialectic. What your task is to produce reasons.
I'm trying
or
to
render.
let me get to my point.
Produce
Let me
reasons.
elaborate.
Produce reasons or render arguments for the proposition God exists.
All right. So I'll get right to the meat and potatoes if you really want. You don't want to humor me for 1 second. Okay. So the history of Israel, they had dominion in the land for 3,500 years. Okay. Through miracle, through Moses, through Jacob, through all the prophets, through all the prophetic people, they showed that the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob was with them. And you have to know about history.
How did they show that?
Because through history, they wouldn't have made it if it wasn't for God.
What's the argument for that?
The argument is they're still a nation today. They came back, and also
No.
they've
Wait,
been
I
a
want-
nation. They've been a nation for thousands of years before that.
Okay, but why would I think that it was needed that there was God for them to do that?
Because, like I said, without the miracles that God did for them, they would have been wiped out. Because remember,
That's repeating the claim.
No, listen. You have to understand the history.
No, that's repeating the look. You're saying that they couldn't do it without the support of God. I asked
That's
why,
right.
and then you said because they achieved this being flourishing as a society. I'm like, that's just the datum to be
Never even
explained.
said that. I
Why?
never even said
Why would I think that that's good reason? Then you said because they couldn't have done it without the miracles of God.
Exactly. So I'll tell you the specific miracle.
Yeah, that is question begging. That's not an answer. That's repeating.
Bro, I'm not
Okay,
even
let's try again.
I didn't even get
So
to
we have the fact that Israel flourished and whatever.
Okay.
Why would I think that requires God?
Because Moses led the Israelites out of Egypt.
How do you
Okay,
know?
and why would I think that requires God? No, let's just give him that. Why would I think that requires God?
Because there was miracles that followed that. And the more we look up history of that land today,
Wait.
the more the Bible's
So,
coming true.
Wait,
Come on.
if miracle,
That is
wait,
not-
wait,
Buddy, you don't know anything about ancient history then. You have no clue.
wait. If, calm down. If miracles happen, then that means that it's needed that God happened, or that God was with them.
By definition, yes.
By definition,
Yeah,
that's not
miracles
true by
happen by
definition.
God.
That's not true by definition.
Miracles happen by God.
And miracles can happen without God.
Sure, I'll give you that. So what's your point?
Wait, so then you just said it's true by definition. Then you said no, it is possible. There's miracles without God. Then you said the reason to believe there's
Yeah, I'll give you
God,
that.
God was needed is because there was miracles, and then you bit the bullet that it could obtain there's miracles that help them perform the act of flourishing without
God,
God.
but it was specific to that God, though. It wasn't just a general thing. It
What was
specific
specific to that God?
Their faith in the God of Israel that led them through and helped them through. That's what they believed.
Okay,
in. The
they had
scripture-
faith. Wait, they had faith in the God of Israel. Why would I think that God exists?
Because,
fact.
like I said, the point B of my logic is without those miracles, they would have never made it. Because you have to understand the history. They got conquered by Babylon. They came back. They got conquered
Wait,
by Rome. in
why do you say
780,
that?
And they came back in 1940.
Wait, why do you say that?
Come on,
Wait,
bro.
why would you say? Wait, why do you say that? Why do you say that without the miracles, they could have never achieved the flourishment that they have?
I'm not talking about the flourishment.
You're saying that there's some
country's flourish.
status.
Every country's
Wait, you're
flourish.
saying.
You want to go
Wait,
by
you're
that.
saying that no. There's some specific flourishment though. That's all I mean. You're saying that there's a specific social way or status that Israel is in where it overcame challenges and it flourished and whatever. I'm just talking about that datum. Why would I think that requires the miracles that were had, if any, to reach that flourishment? I'm not understanding.
Because everything that was from back day is today. Everything came from that.
Right? Look, that doesn't. I don't know what that's even
From the
saying. But
Middle
I'm at.
Okay, like the
I'm
history of
asking-
the world is primarily in the Middle East.
Look, there's a way that that Israel is flourishing, and why would I think that the miracles were needed to bring that about?
Okay, like I said, the prophets had something to do with it. Because they led those people through.
I'm not asking you about any of that. I'm asking you why were the miracles needed? What's the argument that if there was not the miracles, they couldn't possibly achieve being in the certain
Because by your
flourishment they are?
By your worldview, miracles don't happen every day. Maybe once in a blue moon, right? But these miracles were happening every single day.
My
So it's a
worldview
different-
doesn't wait. That doesn't follow from my worldview.
Miracles don't happen every day, man. You don't just like get
That doesn't follow.
Yeah, they don't
wait,
happen
you would have
anymore.
wait that you would have to give an argument that follows from my worldview. You haven't established that.
I'm saying that miracles.
You can be an atheist. You can be an atheist and be committed to miracles happening every instance. Those are equally compatible.
Yeah, but
I don't know what you're talking about.
There's no evidence that's ever been shown that miracles are happening constantly. But with the Bible, it has been.
Wait, you said first, we're not talking about my worldview. But in any case, if the claim is from my worldview, it follows that those are unlikely. You'd have to give me that argument. Now, what? So we're not even talking about my worldview, but I'm fine with entertaining that so you can fail to produce an argument for that. But what we want is you to establish that what could not occur is the flourishment of Israel without the miracles. So whether or not miracles are unlikely, either under your own view or my view, isn't even interesting. We're not talking about what's the likelihood is or the probability that a miracle obtains. We're talking about the conditional. We're talking about the conditional statement. If there's no miracles, then the flourishment's not achieved. So we're not even talking about anything about the probability of miracles. We're talking about the flourishment that Israel has couldn't have been achieved without miracles. So there's like a number of blunders, confusion about the
Okay,
of a miracle
let me clear
with the conditional statement that requires an inference.
Okay, I'll clear this up.
Having a confusion where my worldview somehow does something to justify that claim.
So what I'm trying to say is that there is naturalistic miracles. I'll give you that. But I'm talking about certain spiritual miracles that happen with those people.
I'm asking you, what's the argument that Israel couldn't achieve the flourishment without miracles?
Because number one, they got conquered by the Babylonians, okay? And in that time, that King Nebuchadnezzar went crazy for 7 years, and then he came back and said, God is a true God. And then the history continued, and then the occupation of Rome, they killed Jesus in 33. Jerusalem was destroyed in like 70 AD. Everyone went like everywhere. They got exiled. And in 1948, they all came back, okay? These are prophecies, number one of the Bible.
I'm assuming you don't have any arguments for any of these historical statements, but in any case, that's... you can correct me if I'm wrong, and if anything, it would be more entertaining to see you defend all those historical statements. But in any case, presuming you don't have an argument, let's just grant you all of that. Why would I think that makes it more likely? Why at all? How do any of those facts connect with if the miracles were not had, then the flourishment couldn't been achieved? I don't see where's the connection at all.
Because if you look at the root core of it, Noah's Ark, but you don't believe that, right?
Let's say Noah's Ark happened.
No, okay, then
no, of course I don't believe that.
There you go. If it
What's
happens,
the proof?
Okay, well, if you want
proof of what? That's not proof of your claim.
How? That's a miracle thing that happened.
The fact Noah's Ark obtained, and the statement, if there were not for miracles, then the flourishment wouldn't have been achieved, is not established. So whether or not there's a background fact that Noah's Ark was a true event doesn't tell me anything about why I would think if there wasn't miracles, they couldn't achieve the current flourishment they have. Because it has no connection.
I told you, there's naturalistic miracles, but this was a spiritual miracle. There's two different things, okay? This is talking about a specific God helping specific people and try to get people on.
What's the argument? What's the argument to a spiritual miracle?
The argument is your heart. And no one can get around that.
My heart's not even a proposition.
No, your spiritual heart, man. Like, you know what I mean?
No, I'm asking you, what's the argument that they were only spiritual miracles? They were of the species of spiritual miracles rather than natural miracles. What's the argument?
Okay, so when my definition of a natural miracle is anything that could just happen naturally that we can see, a spiritual miracle is more in tune with like.
Yeah, I'm just asking, what's the argument? What's the argument that they were spiritual miracles?
Sure. In my opinion, the morality is real. Okay, there is love. There is lust.
And this is supposed to be a part of the argument?
Yeah, because to really know God, you got to get your heart right. Okay, if you still lust, you still envy, you still greed, glutton, pride, all this wrath. If you still do that,
no, I'm asking you to give an argument that establishes that the miracle was supernatural.
Sure, but spiritual. A lot of people, they want the proof, but they don't want to get their heart right. You know what I'm trying to say?
I don't care. Can you give the argument or not?
Okay, the argument is that the land was from Abraham, and they settled that land originally. And throughout time, the historical accuracy of that is unparalleled to any other nation. The Bible is unlike.
Why? How does that tell me anything about if the miracles didn't obtain, they wouldn't achieve the flourishment?
Because if you look at the root core of it starts from Adam and Eve, man.
This guy is like brain dead. This guy doesn't.
I'm telling you the context of the Bible, man.
I'm not asking about the context of the Bible. You're supposed to be providing an inference.
I just gave you thousands of years of history.
What
do you mean?
Okay, this guy is extremely stupid. So stupid. At least, to be honest, I'm not even sure he actually knows his history. I'm not sure if any of what he was saying was right, but that guy was so dumb. I'm gonna send him SEP.
Should let me talk.
That'd be funny. You want to talk? I can bring him back up if you want to talk with him. But he's like so. I don't know if he's gonna go anywhere. But your background noise is pretty bad. I don't know if.
Well,
this guy is extremely.
I'm getting in my Uber right now, so.
But the thing is, you realize what he was doing. Do you think it's going to be fruitful to talk with him? Because he can't actually produce any inference. What he'll just do is go on a tangent about history, which doesn't justify any of the claims he's making. So I don't know if it's going to be productive to talk with him.
We can go back to the fine-tuning thing then. And then we could... So Goku, I'm curious. You're saying the constants and laws are very unlikely to be this way without a god, right?
Yeah.
He's not going to understand the probability stuff.
Bro, just
he's less competent than my last guy.
Come on, be humble, man. Relax yourself. Okay, go ahead, Mo.
So, I'm not being humble. I have good reason to think.
You're disrespecting people. What are you talking about, man?
No, but I'm informing Mob why I don't think it's fruitful to talk with you. I'm not going to be dishonest when I'm
I don't
talking
call
to
people
Mob.
names because I don't judge. Okay, let's go, Bob.
What name did I look? What I'm saying is that
You're lying.
it's a waste.
You're
That's,
lying.
Actually, I think
I never said you're lying.
Call me names, bro.
What?
Stupid this, that. Well, everybody heard it. I recorded, bro. Stop lying.
Yeah, I
Oh
said.
my
I'm
God.
not,
Bob,
what am
please
I
go
lying
ahead.
about?
This guy doesn't know what he's talking about. Bob, please.
Wait, no, we're not going to do that. What am I lying about?
Calling me names. What do you mean?
I never said I did. I never lied saying I didn't call you a name.
Okay, Mom, please. Let's go.
I asked you which names that you said I shouldn't be calling you names, and I said which names.
Okay, tomorrow I'm ready, please.
When I said that you're incompetent and unfruitful, considering the fact you wouldn't have an apprehension of the probabilistic critique he's going to run on fine tuning, that is a justified. Whether or not you take that as an insult, that's justified because that's what that's communicating to Mob is that his interlocutor, you, is one that it would not be a fruitful endeavor to explain a criticism of fine tuning because he's so stupid it will go over his head and waste my time on this live.
In your opinion, please continue.
well,
Not my opinion. There's actually epistemic support. I'm justified. It's not merely just I believe it. There's actual justification behind it, right?
let's do this. Let's do this. Let's see. Do you know like the common responses to fine tuning that philosophers give?
No, I just honestly, I do.
Does he even know what coarsely
I do
tuning is?
research,
Like,
I do everything. All the
as-
research. Can I answer?
do you know what coarsely tuning is?
Okay, I didn't know you were talking to him. I thought you were talking to me. But okay, I'll wait.
I'm talking to you.
No, but Mom was talking to me.
Do you know what coarsely tuning is? Are
Okay.
you just gonna dodge or what?
No, I'm not gonna dodge. I never dodge. I like to laugh.
Do you know what coarsely
Right.
tuning is?
Say it one more time. I was laughing. Sorry.
Do you know what coarsely tuning is?
Course? No, I don't.
So then why would you even run fine tuning?
Because we observe it through math and science, man. Come on.
Wait, but in order to argue that there's fine tuning, what you would have to do is diffuse that there's coarsely tuning. If you don't have the device of coarsely tuning, you're not in a position to argue fine tuning because you don't understand you don't even know what coarsely tuning is. Can't argue. In order for to establish just fine tuning, you would have to show there's not coarsely tuning. You don't know what coarsely tuning is, therefore you can't establish fine tuning.
Okay. All I'm hearing
Wow.
is that we're observing everything.
See, more reason to show Mob that this guy's a waste of time. But go ahead, Mob. I'll stop interrupting.
You're
This
just on
guy's
a
like
logical rant,
extremely asinine, stupid.
bro. No, you're just on a super logical rant, bro. I'm not even about that right now.
It's not a rant. It was a brief
Yeah.
analysis as to why it wasn't even a rant. It was actually pretty brief, explaining why, given the fact you don't know coarsely tuning, you're not in a position to even be talked with on fine tuning. We would first have to lecture you on what the tenets of fine tuning arguments are and what coarsely tuning is, and then
I'm pretty sure I can just.
we would have to run a critique. What? See, oh my God, this guy's so stupid. Go ahead, Mob.
Yo, see with the stupid thing. You have no clue, bro. See what I mean?
You are stupid. You're
don't get
extreme.
it.
You just said.
Oh, this guy calling
Yeah.
people stupid.
Yeah, you are so stupid because you just said not
Well,
understanding the tenets of fine tuning that without any background information in reading in literature, because fine tuning arguments are very nuanced, that you could just briefly do a Google search and find the answers to something that takes extensive and reading into the literature concerning the nuances of these types of arguments that have been written for ages, that me and Mob presumably are at least far more well informed than what is needed to have an understanding of the argument that you don't, and you think you could just understand them by just doing simple Google searching? No, dumbass. If I keep interrupting, I'm gonna go get food. Mob, are you there?
Sorry, I just went into a pizza place. Hold on. Listening
Well,
to you guys
I'm
already
step aside.
more entertaining, to be honest.
The what? I can't hear you. There's like wind.
Hold on, let me go around the corner. Is that better?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, okay, so, like, have you looked into fine-tuning? Okay, let's agree there is a fine-tuning problem. The constants are very unlikely to be in a life-permitting range. I'll grant you that, not the laws. I'll grant you the constants. Do you know, like, what philosophers say in response, like, what the common responses are?
The common responses are just about the natural world they observe. They almost talk nothing about the spiritual realm, like, you know, in terms of like how morality, how you should live, help people, do the right thing. They don't really like go into that too much.
Okay, well, do you know, I guess we can talk about coarse tuning. Like, is it possible that God could create a world with life that's coarsely tuned, where the parameters could be a wider than there's life, because he's an all-powerful being?
Well, like everything's infinite possibilities, right? Anything could happen, but it's just this way how it is now.
So, since that's the case, since he can do that, it's actually not expected that he would fine-tune a universe. You know what I mean? Because he could coarsely tune it and get the same result. So, if he's trying to fine-tune a universe, it's not quite we shouldn't like place our bets on God if it's not expected under the God hypothesis that he would fine-tune the universe. You know what I mean?
I do know what you mean, but like, what's your point to that?
He doesn't get what you mean. You should ask him to like steal.
Well, it's like you're saying like, oh, if God could have made it a different way, so why didn't he? Why didn't he?
Yeah, you
No,
want
what's-
to.
Or God could have made it a different way.
No,
Like,
it's not. What's not being said is he could have made it a different way. What's
Okay,
being
what's your
said is,
point?
yeah, so you don't understand his point. That's, as I said, I expect that when you relay his reasoning, that you would fail to actually capture what he's saying. So yeah, you didn't get his point, and I'll explain what his point was. His point was not that God could have made any other way the universe was, because that doesn't do anything to disambiguate between fine tuning and coarsely tuning. What he's saying, or coarse tuning, what he's saying is that Coarse tuning is when there's a range of parameters that are compatible with life coming about, and that's not there's not some very narrow way life could have came about. And that's
Okay,
Do you want
compatible
me
with
up
the
here,
world.
monkey boy, since
That's
Bob invited
compatible.
me?
So course tuning
Yeah,
is like
y'all
God
two
made,
can talk. This guy's completely a
no,
waste
no,
of
let
time.
me, I'm following what you're saying now. So course tuning is basically God made a world. and then those
He's
natural
so
processes-
stupid. I'm telling
Bro,
you.
can I just explain? So course creation is like basically God made a world, and then those parameters of that world created life by itself. Kind of like that. Yes.
Sorry, give me a second.
That's kind of what it is. Like course,
Maybe-
it's like happened, but
Yeah, I
like
can walk and talk. The background noise isn't loud. Coarse tuning is the idea that God could have created a universe where the parameters could range widely and life could still exist.
Okay. Okay, I get it now.
Right.
No, but see, this in my opinion, this is where morality comes in, and it's like that would be fine and dandy on the physical, but there would be no morality, no objective morality. Everything would just be like subjective. Anything goes. There's no right. There's no wrong, and that's what's not true. That's
Subjective do you think subjective morality entails that there's no right or wrong? What?
of course there's
Why would anyone
no,
accept
there's
that?
no objective right. There's no objective wrong by
That
subjective.
doesn't mean that
review.
there's no right or wrong. That's like saying that if there's no objective food taste, then nothing is tasty or gross.
We're not talking about taste. We're talking about morality here. Okay, don't.
Yeah,
don't
I'm just using it as an analogy. Do you know what an analogy
As
is?
a false comparison. Okay, not even
It's not a false comparison.
So
It's
what?
actually exactly the same. It's saying that if a theory about the nature of the normative claims is false, then all the normative claims are false.
We're talking about morality, objective or subjective. My claim is
I'm drawing an analogy between a different normative domain.
Sure. Let's just
Namely food taste, but it could be anything else. It could be like the price of things. It could be like anything else, right?
Okay, so what we all observe is that we're all one people. Okay, that's a fact, yes or no?
I don't know what that means. One
That
people.
we're all one human being, people of the same genome, DNA, like kind of like. Do you understand what I'm
You're
saying?
just saying we're the same species.
Yeah, species, however you want to call it.
Humans are the same species.
Okay, so what we can observe is that we know what right and wrong is. Okay, only in the last 20, 30 years is that this whole.
I don't grant that.
Every time before that, everybody knew what right and wrong is, but now they're just saying, oh, everything goes, nothing's right, nothing's wrong, subjective, everything. No, like I said,
I don't grant any of this. You're just yapping.
Here, Goku, let me ask you a question.
Are you have a subjective worldview or objective, Davy?
Worldview? Are you talking about my metaethics or something else?
Morality.
Yeah, I'm not a metaethical realist.
He's not going to know what that means.
I don't know what that is, to be honest, but
Yeah, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. I don't know why you're commenting on metaethics when you don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
bro,
Goku, let me ask you a question. We have two worlds. World one, everyone's raping, unaliving each other, torturing each other, a lot of suffering, okay? But there's no objective morality in this world. Or there is objective morality in this world.
Okay.
Or world two, there's no objective morality, it's just subjective. But everyone's very nice to each other, we all help each other, there's no suffering at all. Which world would you prefer to live in?
these hypotheticals are just—they're not explanations. Like half of you guys' explanations.
I don't know why it's so hard. I don't know why it's so hard.
That's
for
what
you
it
to
is, bro. It's not. It's
Dude,
not,
I was laughing hearing Davey talk with this guy. Dude,
No,
Davey,
but
I
don't
gotta have
see
you.
that
I gotta
half
have you up more.
explanations
You're
are
actually like hilarious.
hypotheticals, man. That's ridiculous, man.
The way you
At least
talk
I'm
with these
talking
people
about
is so
history. At least I'm talking about science and math. You're just talking about hypotheticals.
My point is, I don't think objective morality is as desirable as people think it is, or as important as people think it is.
You know, on live, no one's gonna say it, but we all know what love is, and we know how to do good and do bad, and that's objective in everybody. So that's just a fact.
Yeah, I just don't
Wait,
think
That
any
goes
of
to your
this.
heart, buddy.
Wait,
Don't forget that.
Davey. He has no clue what meta-ethical objectivism is. So he's saying
He doesn't know.
something
He doesn't
that's-
know what realism is, and he's still commenting on this like he knows.
No,
anything.
but you gotta understand he's he's an idiot, right? So he has this like folk concept
You
of
think that's
objectivism.
something that I have to understand? I came prepackaged
No.
with the knowledge that this
You
guy's a
already know
moron.
No, but let's ask him then what he means by objective. What he means for morality to be objective. What do you understand?
it means everyone. It means everyone know. Then it's universal.
Basically.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so that's something called normative ethics, not meta ethics. That actually in literature has nothing to do with morality being objective if it's universal. You can have a universal objective or anti-realist or subjective meta ethics. Well, not even just subjective, realist or
Wait,
anti-realist.
so if everyone thinks that stealing is wrong, does that mean morality is objective?
No, because morality is there without your understanding of it. It's already there. It's in your heart. In other words, it's always
In
been
your heart?
Wait, so let's say if raping children was in everyone's heart, would that make it objectively good?
It'd be objectively wrong.
It's
Wait,
if it's in
everyone's heart.
If the belief that it's morally good is in everyone's heart, is it morally good?
No, no, it's not like that. It doesn't work like that.
I
Morality.
thought you defined objectivity in terms of it being in everyone's hearts.
It is, but the reality is like
What?
that is not acceptable.
Wait, then what are
Everybody
the
knows
other?
You're just not answering
What
the
are-
question.
Yeah,
Hold
look,
on, you're
let
not
me
actually
ask you-
engaging the hypothetical.
It's just saying
We're asking
if this
if graping
He
children
probably
is in
wants to say
everyone's
there's
hearts.
additional conditions. Like to also
No,
say it's wrong is also
just
to say
wait.
it's in your heart.
If graping children is in everyone's hearts, then in that world is graping children morally good? Moral objective.
again, let's talk about what's here and now, please.
Yeah, you're just gonna get kicked if you don't answer the question.
Like, do you guys not see it or no? Like, I'm making claims that I
I'll
stand.
give you 3 chances. 1.
Just pass him to Mob. Let's just waste Mob. I don't know why Mob thought this guy would be fun. Out of all the people I talked with, he's probably the least. But Mob, do you still want to proceed this? Because genuinely, I'll let you uninterrupted talk with this R-word.
Yeah,
we
buddy.
go next? Go
That's the hate right there.
Yeah, you're such an
Bro,
idiot.
Oh my
I will never know how dumb he is. He's just too dumb to
No,
know.
he won't. Oh my, dude! Did you see when he was first up here?
No.
When I was talking with him before.
No,
Oh
I
my
just
god,
checked that.
he was like 10 times dumber.
I just joined the live and then Mob invited me up.
Dude, I was asking him to.
You can tell?
Yeah,
Wait, what do you mean?
Oh, I didn't know that.
that's because you don't get invited to lives.
That's true.
Dude, you gotta stop being so Canadian. So
I
we
feel
can add
bad
you
for
to
that
group
guy.
chat.
Oh, am I echoing?
You're dumb.
Bring up the next guy. Oh, there's some.
No, you're not echoing. You sound fine. A little low, but
Yo, Cow Rider. What's your name? I can't see it.
Hey guys, how are you doing?
What's up, Cow Rider? Are you a theist?
Not really. I'm not also a fan of God stuff, so I'm just here and observing what's going on, and I'd like to understand what's the meaning behind this question. Why do we actually care about like if there's a God or not?
Because it's fun. Okay.
have a nice day.
Yeah.
Why do people just like come
We
up and
want
be like,
opposition, guys.
why are you guys doing the live?
Is that the real goat PMars in the chat? I miss you, buddy.
Where are they? Real Judensky, guys. This is the man of the hour. Let's have a conversation about God's existence.
This is what they do.
All right. What's your best argument for God? Best one.
Oh wait, PMars, I heard you talking about me on Jim Bob's live. Oh, why did that guy leave? Oh, that was Jacqueline. Never mind.
Yeah, some other guy brought you up. I wasn't like bringing you up or anything.
Guys, it's the first and second law of
I just love
thermodynamics.
the kind words you had to
Hey.
say. So
Yeah. What do the laws of thermodynamics have to do with God?
Yeah, energy cannot be created nor destroyed, and also entropy. Whatever.
What does this
all
have to
the
do with
energy in
God?
the universe is going to get used up, and yeah, there you go.
Wait, wait, is that actually PMars?
Wait, but energy can't be created. So how did God create it?
You gotta do
Debunk.
Well,
Cannot be created or destroyed. Well, he's above
People
physical
don't
laws.
know what energy is, right? Like they say what it does, but not what it
You
is.
think you think
They say it's the
physicists don't
capacity.
know what energy is?
Yeah, but they never
the-
say. They just like try to, it's not an actual real definition. It just says what it does.
That's literally the definition of physics. There is a definition. What do you mean? Do you know like any like formulas like regarding energy in physics? Like even one? Can you like name one?
It's the capacity, ability to do work.
I asked for a
I mean,
formula.
but that's
Do you know
Well,
like
why
the
do you need
formula
that
for
for
like
figures, man?
for like basic mechanics, like mechanical energy? Like potential energy.
what would that
kinetic
do?
energy.
What is that fruitful for the conversation, or is that just something you want to ask me, man?
I'm just curious if you know anything about what you're talking about.
No, energy is just pressure
Oh, no?
radiation, guys.
So you don't know? You don't know anything about
Oh,
what you're
no
talking about?
formulas.
Have you
I'm
ever
just
taken
talking about energy itself. A little bit, but I just got reacquainted with it online. Just shopping around.
shopping
Different
around,
people
like
tell me
just
about
reading
this and that.
articles, just talking to people who also don't know what they're talking about?
You could say that, Danny boy.
You're such a joke.
Okay,
dude, I
let's
gotta have
talk
Davy up
about
all the time.
my
I
best.
think it's
argument.
just shame. I think it's just shameful being up here talking about like a field of like science, and you're like,
I'm just saying you're like
people don't know
genuinely
people don't
entertaining.
even know what energy is. It's just shameful. Like you don't know anything about what you're talking about.
No,
It's
yeah,
just pressure
everything Davy's
mediation.
saying is right, but it's just that you're like actually so entertaining. You have to be on my channel more, bro.
I can.
The old you was more like, I don't know, gay. Now you're like extremely entertaining. You're too
So,
Danny.
guys,
You're like way
Oh,
we're
wait, you know
talking
this
about
person? You know this person?
energy,
before?
right?
No, I have no clue
So
who this idiot is.
matter cannot
Except
be
the old
created
you.
nor destroyed, right? Energy cannot be created
Yo,
nor
Davy.
destroyed. So
No.
where did it come from? Is the question to Davy.
Where did it come from? If it can't be created or destroyed, and there is some, doesn't that just mean it always existed?
Well, yeah, it does. But then also the second law is entropy, right? All the energy.
Or it could also mean that
So-
it began to exist, but it wasn't created. Like there was a first moment in time, and in that moment of time, there was matter.
That's basically saying that it was always here, right?
No. Or always here in the sense that for every moment of time that there was matter, but not always here in the sense that there's like a infinite past where there was matter or something. Those are two different senses of those are two different ways of understanding always here. So it
Well, you
depends on
guys
what
understand progression, right? Everything progresses, and the more energy is used up, the more usable energy is used up. I'm getting this. It's on the tip of my tongue, but you guys know the second law of thermodynamics, right?
right. It's not even really a law as far as I understand.
Well, it's just an observation, right? Like we can't really say there's a cause to it. We
Also only applies.
observe
It
these
also only
natural
applies.
laws.
You also know what it only applies to, right?
You said a closed system.
Right.
All right, that's fine, man. But it had to come from somewhere else. But then it had to always be there.
Why would I
wherever
grant that it had to come
been.
from somewhere else?
Because it's outside of a closed system, right?
Or what if it just always existed?
All right, so there you go. It's always been here. So then that means that it's outside of natural law.
That
It's
doesn't follow.
supernatural by
That
definition.
doesn't follow. That doesn't follow.
Anything that's beyond natural is supernatural, my guy.
Who said that it's beyond natural?
It's beyond natural law
Why would it be beyond natural law?
because it can't be created, but it was always here.
Yeah,
because
so
of
if
the
it's
second
always
law
been
of
here, then it's not been
thermodynamics.
created.
So exactly, it's the second law of thermodynamics. So that means that if you try to
What
put it
about
into
the
the
second
scope
law
of
of
natural
thermodynamics?
law,
You're just saying the second
then
law
you
of
fail.
thermodynamics. What about
So
it?
how are we here if you try to put into the scope of the natural world?
What do you mean,
through
how are
natural
we
laws?
here? What does that have to do with the second law of thermodynamics?
I'm talking about both of them as it pertains to the natural world, guys.
Yeah, what about them?
Yeah. So how does a natural world exist if it has to disobey its own laws?
How is it
It must have
disobeying
had
its
come
own
from a
laws?
supernatural source.
How is it disobeying its own laws?
Because of the second law of thermodynamics.
What about it?
Entropy increases as energy decreases. That means it has to have a certain origin point.
Why would that follow?
How can it not follow? We're talking
What
about
do you mean?
energy.
You're the one making the claim.
Look, I don't.
Energy
Yeah.
cannot be created
So
nor
why?
destroyed.
Wait. Why
But
would
the
You
second
why
law
would entropy?
just keep
of
repeating the same thing and like drilling
thermodynamics
it.
Look, why would energy decreasing and entropy increasing somehow mean that there's a beginning?
It's because it's outside of. It doesn't make logical sense in the natural world. Anything beyond.
Yeah, he's just
like,
saying
you
as we go
understand that?
back as we go back further in time, entropy increases. Okay, that just means that the further back you go in time, the more entropy there is, or something like that, right? So
Doesn't mean there's a
that's
first.
completely compatible with there
As
being no
anything.
origin point.
As energy decreases, entropy increases. So that's always it had to come from a certain point because that's
That just
always
doesn't
been-
follow.
That follows. Absolutely, it follows. I was going to say the word follows. It follows. It checks
No, it
out.
doesn't.
You don't
It
think it
just
does?
Then establish how it follows.
Wait. Okay. Do you know? Can you
Because
name
I just
one?
remembered it,
Can you
guys.
name one
The second
inference
law.
rule?
What?
Can you
Say
name
what?
one inference rule?
Oh no, I'm just using these.
So you're using words like it follows.
I'm
but you
still
don't
using
actually know
the three foundations of logic, right?
which are what?
What?
I have an inference that
Which
says
is-
it's going to hell.
Oh, guys, watch out for him. It's the law of identity, law excluded middle, the law.
You think
of,
those are you think those are the foundations of logic?
non-contradiction. So you can't
think those are
contradict
the
yourself when
foundations
we're
of
talking
logic?
about the natural laws, guys.
You think those are the foundations of logic?
Yeah, the three laws of logic, guys.
Oh yeah, the three laws of logic, right?
I mean, it does sound nice coming off the tongue like that, doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean,
And don't make it
it's another
perverse.
bullshit
Come
thing.
on. So it can't contradict itself. These are natural laws, guys. So it has
You
to
think
come
that the
from a
laws of
certain
logic
point
are laws of science or something? You just call them
I mean,
natural
as
laws.
it pertains to the natural world, is there anything outside of that? That's supernatural. It got you there.
What?
Yeah. If we're using these natural laws,
You
for
think that, okay,
science
just
in
to
the
be clear,
natural
that you
world,
think that the laws of logic are laws of nature? Is that what you're saying?
as we observe it, yeah. I mean, that's the only way we just observe these things happening. You know, entropy.
How do you
pressure radiation,
observe
which is
the law
energy
of
itself.
non-contradiction? What experiment do you do?
Oh, that's the question you're asking. No, that's not where I was going, bud. I'm using the natural laws here.
You're
but
not
I'm using
looking good right now.
Can you
The
answer the
laws of
question?
logic to print my foundation right here, guys. Stand
How do
on
we
your guys'
how do we
foreheads.
deduce laws of nature?
You got me there. Why don't you explain it for everyone here?
Yeah, we posit them, right, based on observations, right? Laws of logic aren't things we observe. They're just postulations in some formal system.
Oh, we're still stuck on that. Okay, no, yeah, that was just my foundation of logic, guys. The fact that I'm even having this conversation
anyone else in
is a
Team Monkeyboy?
metaphysical experience.
Metaphysical.
That was
Wow,
so
that-
entertaining.
Wow,
That's
that
gonna
guy's
be
so
on
dumb.
YouTube. I'm sorry, Davy wrecking that guy. That was hilarious. Honestly, I wish that went longer, but no, that guy was something else. People in my lives are always something else. I guess it's not really something else. Oh wait, not cow guy. We already had him.
Jack, what do you think
Wait,
about that?
What did the cow guy even say?
Jack, were you listening to that?
It was a bunch of nonsense.
Was it funny at least?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hello.
How funny would you say that was? I thought it was super entertaining.
It was pretty funny.
I was cracking up, especially when I first
It's
put.
basically just the way we describe reality. Oh my god, people are so confused. These people have never opened like a logic textbook in their whole life, and they think like logic is like in the domain of metaphysics or something.
Yeah. I do or D.
Yeah.
I don't. Either of you two can talk with this guy, or if P Mars wants to grow him.
Or
What's
or
your-
all of you guys, huh? What's my
How do you argue for the existence of God?
Well, God is what has been introduced to people. Okay, let me. Can I ask a couple of questions first?
All right.
Okay, can we agree that we are born with something that animates the flesh? We don't know what to call it. We'll call it nature. We can call it nature, not God.
Well, let's say we agree to that.
Okay, let's say we agree to that, and everything else has that same spirit. Plants, uh, wildlife, the weather, everything has
Then
that
I don't. Then I don't understand.
Well, what if we
nature.
just
We're
can we
talking
just
about
grant it?
nature. We're talking
Can we
about
grant-
nature.
Great spirit in the sky.
I don't know what you mean by spirit.
Ancient ancestors.
I'm,
I
I'm,
mean,
I'm,
we
I'm,
could-
I'm
we-
calling
we
it.
can still
I'm
grant
calling
it, right?
I'm calling it spirit for lack of a better word.
I mean, the thing about
Yeah.
granting is that it's not really clear what's even being said.
Yeah, it's kind of.
No, but we can just accept the gibberish, right? Sort of
Okay,
like
call it
you know.
call it gibberish. Okay, but then all of a sudden, but you're born with whatever animates you, right?
Sure.
Okay.
Let's
Then
just keep granting all this nonsense.
yeah, that it's all nonsense. All the shit that you guys have been talking about all night is nonsense. I'm just
Right,
bringing
right.
my brand of nonsense.
And he's
Right.
saying 9 cents, as in 9 senses, like enlightenment. Another, you know what I'm saying?
That might be how it sounds to you, but you know what I'm saying. I'm saying nonsense.
No, Davy was saying 9 cents.
Oh,
as in
okay.
you're reaching another state of understanding.
Okay, but anyway, you're born with whatever everything else that
Right.
okay, you're natural. Then all of a sudden, someone comes along, and they're like, "Hey, somebody's name is Davy."
Okay.
Okay,
But
somebody's like, "Hey,
Davy's not
Davy."
natural. He was born in a capsule.
Shut up.
Which is artificial.
Then someone says, "Hey, Davy, I've got something that you need. This thing
Okay.
called God, but you have to be born again to accept this spirit." And then you
Oh,
go through these,
reincarnation.
and you go through these rituals, and all of a sudden you've accepted Jesus. That right there,
Are you just storytelling, or are you going to give an argument?
I'm telling you where God comes from. That's
The
We
thing
didn't
is,
ask
I
where
can't
God comes
focus.
from. We asked for an argument that he exists.
He doesn't
Asking
exist.
where
hard to-
something-
He does
asking
exist.
where-
He
asking where
exists.
something comes from is presupposing that you accept that it exists.
He does
The
exist.
thing about
He exists.
wait,
Yeah,
wait,
so
D,
we're asking for the argument that he exists.
He exists
But D-
in the believer. He exists
D,
in the
D, D.
believer. Yeah.
Wait,
Wait,
he exists
D.
in the believer in the same way that
Wait.
that somebody
Hold on,
believes
hold on.
Pokemon is real.
I need to
Pokemon
tell.
exists.
I need to tell D that the thing about this story, I can't keep focus on the story without puppets. Can you do like a puppet show?
I could.
You
I
think that's
could.
possible?
I could. Maybe I'd do better with a whiteboard.
I see.
Yeah, because
You got a whiteboard in front of you. I can
sometimes
have a
No,
big screen.
sometimes
Monkey
you're so-
Boy is African American.
huh?
Monkey Boy is African American. He wouldn't want a whiteboard.
Yeah, I'm African American too. So, and I'm a teacher. So, I'm good.
Oh, what do you teach?
Oh,
I'm
you're
good with
a
whiteboards.
teacher. I feel bad for your students.
Oh,
That's mean.
it doesn't matter. You're the one with the lack of understanding.
He's
not
just
me.
he's
And you know,
jealous
No,
that
he's
your
a,
students are so smart because
he's,
such a
he's
good
a bad
teacher.
student. He doesn't listen well.
Are you gonna spank him with a ruler?
No, we don't go that route.
Okay, well at least you don't do that.
Yeah, we don't spank guys with rulers.
Well, that might be
That's actually what you
un-
guys do off when you
that's
get
You
actually
spank girls with
unfortunate for
rulers?
Davy.
huh?
Do you spank girls with rulers?
Yeah, that's a better option.
Why is that better?
Than spanking dudes. Dudes are not. That's not what I do. I don't do dudes.
Do you spank girls?
Look here. So the
With
thing about Jesus is
a measuring stick of wood or a different
God
stick
is
of wood?
real to the believer.
Okay, but when you say he's real to the believer, do you mean that in the same way as someone who believes in Pokemon? Pokemon is real to them.
Exactly.
Okay, but we're not interested in that kind of real. We want the kind of real where it actually exists.
It does exist. It does.
Do you think okay, but then you think that Pokemon actually exists?
No, that's different.
No, but you're saying it actually exists to the believer in the same way Pokemon actually exists to the believer who believes in Pokemon.
God exists as fuck. He's like the most existing shit.
Is that
God
like a predicate?
God is okay.
That's fuck.
Nature is one thing, but God is the evil shit in the world.
What?
Yeah. Think about it. If somebody walks up to you and they say, "Hey, I've got a God,"
Hold
for
on,
you,"
hold on. I'm thinking about it.
Okay, wait. Do you think Pokemon
You
exists?
might be right about this.
they do
Pokemon exists?
on my TV.
No. In real life.
That's a stupid question.
Yeah, in real
Why
life.
is it- But can you answer the question? Yes or no?
No, they don't exist in real life.
Okay, does God exist in real life?
To the believer, yes.
No, not to the believer, just in real life.
To me and you, no, he doesn't exist.
Oh, are you an atheist?
Agnostic, more or less.
Oh boy.
Yo, we're having really good people.
Look, he's on your team, so you can't blame God. For that.
No. Don't
He's
put
on
that
your
thing in
team.
our
I
pile.
don't care what team someone is on. I care if they're a good reasoner.
He's not in this pile. Technically, we're atheists. He's agnostic. So he's in a different pile.
It's the same
Hey
thing.
guys, You just mentioned something about like if God exists actually.
Well, he was
in
saying
this room.
that God exists. He's actually in your palm.
No. He's saying God exists in the same way that Pokemon exists. Like it exists in the world of fiction.
Yeah, but that's like some Mignonian ontology, so it's like some degree of existence or something, and that's more.
Yeah.
And that's more PMARS.
Okay, if we reduce all, I mean, if we stop all the noise in the world, right? And,
Did you say if we stop all the noise in the world?
Yeah, I mean, if there's no noise, right? Nothing, right? I mean, there's nothing actually is making any sound or noise, right? If you're like silent.
You're saying okay. So if there's no noise, then there's silence. Okay.
Yeah, you're in absolute silence, right?
Okay, we're in absolute silence.
Yeah. What is? I mean, and if you're by yourself, right? What is beating your heart? Like, what kind of intelligence is beating your heart? Do you think?
Well, the heart beating is just like a mechanism.
Yeah, but how did it start?
How did it start? Well, the mechanism formed. Like sometime when I was in my mother's womb, I developed the heart, and it has that mechanism.
Okay. Do you think you can restart anytime you wish?
I can't hear you.
Do you think you can actually restart it anytime you wish?
What do you mean by restart it?
What I mean is that if you stop it and then you can restart it again.
Well, yeah, people have restarted it. Yeah, like hearts have been restarted when they're stopped. Isn't that like what CPR is kind of?
No. Yeah, I know, but what consciously by yourself, like in your silence?
Well, if your heart is stopped, then you're not getting blood to your brain, right? So you're not going to be conscious. So someone else has to do it.
Yeah, but where that consciousness comes from then?
From your brain.
From your brain.
Yeah.
Well, Jack has a view that comes from the testicles, actually. Correct me if I'm wrong, Jack.
Why do you say from the brain? Like that's some like wild thing to say. Like that's like a
That's
a widely agreed upon view that consciousness comes from the brain in some way.
Because if you're brain dead, then still your heart still beats, for example, and your natural functions still. I mean, your body.
You can have a beating heart and not be conscious.
Yeah. So where does that? Okay, this is funny now. Where does that heartbeat come from? You say like from a mechanism, and then if you follow that all the way,
it's mechanical.
Where did that first heartbeat come from then?
Whenever the mechanism formed and it started acting.
Like there should have been a womb, right? And then there should be.
Yeah, you were in the womb. Yeah, what about it?
So then where did that womb come from then? Let's just
from the mother.
Like, who made the first mother then?
The first mother? Are you saying where did the first human come from?
Yeah. Let's just
say I don't know.
The first mother came from the first grandmother.
Let's just say I don't know. Then what?
Then we're basically arguing on something that we don't know, right?
What does that mean?
That means it could be a subjective point of view. Then how would you discover it yourself if you
I don't know why
understand?
I would grant that it's subjective just because I don't know something.
Well, Davy's still going through the journey of discovering himself. He's still lost.
What are you chewing on, man? That sounds funny.
Oh, me, I'm eating.
Okay, then.
Do you have an argument for God's existence?
Well, yes. I mean, personal experiences.
Do you have an argument that could convince me? Your personal experiences aren't going to convince me.
Yeah, true. But I would suggest some pathways if you want to figure that out beyond logic.
No, I just want an argument.
Okay, have you tried? I don't know how to put this way for you.
Arguments don't involve questions, by the way.
Yeah, I know, but let's say for the sake of like this lesson.
Well, I don't want a lesson. I just want an argument.
Okay, how would you negate the idea of God then? How would you understand that there is no God?
Let's just say that I don't see a reason to believe in one, and it's simpler to believe that there isn't.
Then what would be the meaning of life if there is no infinite power? That there's no infinite reference point because everything else.
I don't know what you mean by meaning of life if you mean something other than like what people's goals are.
I mean, let's think collectively, and then
let's what?
Include every form of life, and what would be the meaning of all this going on if there is no?
I don't know what that means. I don't know what you mean by meaning if you don't mean something like what are someone's goals?
Okay, let me make it like a question. If If there's no,
I mean, you can ask the same question for the third time.
yeah, what I'm saying is, it's like if there is no infinite reference point, then does this make sense that everything that is finite has a meaning?
Are you going to answer the question?
I'm just asking you because I want to figure it out myself too.
Are you going to answer the question that I've asked you like 2 or 3 times?
Repeat it again, please. Maybe
What do you mean by meaning if you don't mean someone's goals?
What I mean by meaning if I don't mean someone's goals. By meaning, I mean, what is the point of the existence?
What do you mean by point?
If there is, okay, now we're switching back between meaning and point. Hold on.
Yeah, you can't define point in terms of meaning and meaning in terms of point.
Yeah, exactly. So let's figure. Can you help me figure it out?
So I'll give you an example. When I say the meaning of life for me is, studying things I'm interested in, family, friends. All I mean is that those are like goals that I have, right? Those are like goals to do those things and to achieve those kinds of things, like become studied in things I'm interested in, have friends and family and relationships. I'm just saying that those are my goals. So I don't know what you mean by meaning of life if you don't mean those kinds of things, like my goals.
Okay, what would be? Okay, then what would you be doing all this, like all these goals, if it all will perish into nothing when you die?
Why would I do them?
Yeah,
because I want to.
Yeah, but why would you even have a desire if you know that there's nothing at the end?
Why would I care whether there's something at the end in terms of the things that I want to do now?
I mean, are you seeking any sort of like? I mean, what would be your gain? That's what I'm thinking.
My game?
No, what would you gain out of all these goals, achievements, and everything that you do?
I don't know, maybe like happiness or like a feeling of accomplishment or something.
Yeah, but and let's say you've accomplished everything you wanted, and then what?
Then I'll be happy, or I'll be more happy.
And then
I'll find something. Then I'll find something else to do.
Like another argument about a different God or something.
Maybe I'll just study a different field.
Like, why are you curious at the beginning, anyways? Like, why are you at the very beginning? Why are you even curious about knowing things if you know that?
Why am I curious?
Yeah.
I mean, that sounds like a psychological question. It's like that's like a question about like the way my brain is wired or something like that. I don't know.
Like, how
I just want to know things, and I don't have like a further explanation. Like I'm just interested in knowing things.
Mm-hmm. But then the result of that knowing would be what?
I don't know, that I've done something that I wanted to do.
Yeah, but it looks like a loop right now. Like if
I don't see how it loops.
Like why would I want to know something? I'm asking myself now. Like, why would I want to know something if I know that everything is meaningless? And there's
why would I accept that everything is meaningless? I just gave an example of how I'd explain how my life has meaning.
You explained that you want to achieve some goals, and then it makes you happy.
Yeah, that's just what I mean by life having a meaning.
Like, okay, the meaning of life for you is like ultimately be happy. That's
I wouldn't really say that. I would say the things that I already said.
Okay, how would you wrap it up? Like in like one sentence, like what would the meaning of your life personally, subjectively?
Yeah, like learn the things that I'm interested in learning and be around the people that I want to be around.
Uh-huh. And what does God have to do with all these things that you can already do without
nothing
having? Yeah, exactly. So
yeah, God has nothing to do with my goals. Why would he have something to do with my goals if I don't think he exists? I mean, maybe he has something to do with my goals in terms of like, I like studying philosophy. Philosophy of religion is part of that. But like not the entity God, more like the concept of God. I don't believe that there's such an entity. Obviously, there's a concept.
Yeah, let's think about the concept, right? And I think like personally, the way I see it is I'm just part of it, part of the same concept, but not all of it.
I don't know what that means.
What I mean is this:
you're part of the concept of God.
Yes. What I mean is,
well, then you're just using the word concept differently from me, because if you're part of the concept of God, then someone would have to, know you in order to have the concept of God, which obviously, that would be false.
That satisfies the curiosity, like, that you have, that you want to know people, you want to know, like, like that's.
No, like here's an example. Do you know what a bachelor is?
And Davy aims to stop being one, basically.
Do you know what a bachelor is?
No, could you enlighten
A
me, please?
bachelor is an unmarried man, okay?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, that's
So marriage is part of the concept of a bachelor, right?
Yes.
So if someone doesn't know what marriage is, can they know what a bachelor is?
Yes, logically possible.
That's true. All right.
Kind
let's back
of
up.
like grilled you.
Talking about like yourself, that you you see that there's there's nothing relevant about God with your goals and the meaning of your life because you don't believe that it exists. But what if I personally look at it from a different perspective? I see like there's a higher intelligence that I kind of tune into that kind of facilitates me reaching my goals and whatever else I want. Not in the sense that I beg it to give it to me or something like that. Not in a religious way of thinking. But in the sense that, hey, if it's beating my heart, if something's beating my heart, because I'm sure that I'm not beating my heart, right? Therefore, I cannot.
Yeah, the mechanism. Like we have like a scientific understanding of like the way a heart beats.
Okay. Yes, I agree.
Like we know it down, we know like down to the fundamental like components of the heart how it beats.
Is there any other body part other than the heart you're beating?
let's just stick to the heart, right? And I mean, there should be some intelligence that has designed the mechanism and everything else, right? Like
I don't know why I would accept that.
Then how would the mechanism start at the beginning, anyways? Like
let's just say I don't know.
Yeah, I mean that's the same thing that you say I don't know.
No, because I don't know, therefore God.
No. It goes. It looks like we're talking about. Let's say I'm not familiar with physics and everything like that, but I understood some concept about the field, right, where everything comes from nothing, and eventually.
What are you talking about?
Hold on. That I don't know. I call it the field, right, and it is some sort of intelligence that is operating behind the physical realm that we're experiencing.
Why would I accept that?
I mean, I'm not asking to accept that, but I can refer to, let's say, no, I can refer. No, I'm not. I cannot argue with you, man. You're too strong in logic. So let's put it that way. I can't argue with that. I'll give you that, right? Speaking of the field, I mean, if you look at the quantum physics, let's say, I'm not familiar with physics. I'm just saying what I understood from it myself when I did a little bit of googling. If you look at quantum field and quantum mechanics, not quantum mechanics. Let's go way back to nothingness, where everything comes from, and that is called physics. That's called field. The field in quantum mechanics, right? And there are basically some forces. They start interacting with one another, and they start creating vibrations, and everything comes from there. And this is what I learned from Dr. Joe Dispenza, if you know anything about this guy. And he had a story, and he got hit by a truck. And
Dr. Jody Spencer, is this quantum health coaching?
Yeah.
He's a southern witch. He's a southern folk witch healer and licensed counselor.
Let's just see like his story a little bit. I just tell a little bit about the story.
What is going on?
Hold on. It's kind of funny. And he gets hit by truck, right? And then his spine is completely gone, and he literally has no choice but to go for surgery. After rejecting like 4 surgeons' opinion, and he goes like, I have nothing to lose. Let me just try to see if I can fix this myself. And he actually does it by himself, with connecting through this intelligence, this field. And after that, he gets fascinated by the science. He just starts studying everything about that and how this happened. And,
he put his spine back together?
He literally does, yeah. He literally did it, yes. So,
but
and he starts walking
business without a spine.
No, he is in business right now, and he has his spine, functional spine, and he literally fixed all that himself. He says like everything that you literally focus on, and be able to create a very vivid image, and let's just submit it to the same intelligence that we agreed that we don't know, right? Like we said, like okay, let's say I just don't know that. Submit it to the same intelligence, which is the same field in quantum mechanics, and then let that run the show, and you just maintain your focus on what you design in your mind. So that is his journey basically. So I tried it personally myself, and then it actually works. Somehow, it not fixing my spine, but it literally when I create something in my mind, and I know for the fact that this is what I want, and then I kind of, let's say, just let it be there, and don't try to destroy the image by like doubts or fear or any sort of nonsense or any noise or distractions that we're facing these days, then somehow it shows up in the reality that I'm living in, and it sounds like I'm a co-creator with the intelligence. People somehow feel like there are synchronicities or something like that, or they just think that this is science. But if you go for that reference, like Dr. Joe Dispenza, he would probably answer better questions if you ask him. Yeah, and then there are other pathways that I chose myself personally. Like I was like, you know what? Screw this reality. Nothing really works. The whole world is like nonsense. So let me just try my own path. And I just somehow found myself in different situations where I was, let's say, on extreme chemicals like DMT and stuff like that, and I was like, wow, there are some things that you can't really see by your eyes, but you can literally feel the vibe of it. And then when you come back, you go like, this was an experience that was much more real than anything else. And then after that, you just don't trust whatever you see, but also try to tune into that inner reality that you experience yourself. And that is called, like, let's say, I'm not advocating for any sort of medicine or anything like that. I'm just saying, like, if you just give it a chance to yourself, like, and explore those kind of
Monkeyboy, you should restart your live.
yeah, somehow, like, I mean, I had nothing to lose, so I'm just like, okay, let me just try. Let me just go to the extreme of everything. And I tried, and I was like, okay, now I understand.
Actually, I might just end, to be honest. I don't know if I'm gonna go live later, or that I want to go live again. What do y'all think?
I mean,
if you guys want, I could go live
more
again.
people, but there's just like no one in the live.
If you guys want,
If you restart, I will join.
all right. Sure. Yeah, I'll just restart. All right. See you guys in like 15 seconds.